Since it's 10:09 in the morning. So, welcome to our pre-bid conference for the early procurement of civil works and goods and services. But before we proceed, let's have a prayer first to be led by Engineer Angelo Doler.
Let's bow down our heads and feel the presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, we are gathered today to conduct matters of business. Guide our hearts and our minds in a spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our task may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being our source of guidance today. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Si Dudong Alien ba? Sige.
I'll give you Engineer Rex Impal for the roll call of attendees.
Hello. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Members, observer, good morning. Madam Chair, these are the attendees to this activity, pre-bid conference. First, we have the back chairperson, Gina M. Sugabo. We have also the back vice chairperson, Jima G. Caligo. Regular members, Ernie P. Gungo, DC James M. Linkan. And also we have the professional members, Dines E. Tumala, G. Vincent C. Paleng, and Francis Del J. Ligumo. We have also the head of the Technical Working Group, Ivan Jan Bidiang, Bernard C. Nuran, Alin P. Marikay, Jeff M. Lungsod, Angelo Bolera. We have also the head of the Bank Secretariat, Elsa C. Madla. Members, Dona Meros G. Duran, Maria Estrella Gracia M. Remolio, Maria Ibaquin Ogoteon, and yours truly, Rex M. Impal. We have also observer, Mr. Alejandro G. Carpizo from Altamco. Madam Chair, since we have the vice chairperson, 2 regular members and 3 professional members, the back is in quorum. Madam Chair.
Thank you, Rex. So, our agenda for today is number 1, brief presentation explanation by the bank for basic contract data, including contract description, ABC, and duration for civil works, to be discussed by Engineer Francis Dale G. Ligotom. For basic contract data for goods and services, to be discussed by Mr. Junifer Armilo Rola. For C.1, requirements of bidding documents for civil works, discussed by Engineer Ivan Jan Vidiang. For C.2, requirements of bids, including instruction to bidders and specification and other conditions for goods and services. To be discussed by Engineer Maria Estrella Gracia Remolio. And for D.1, documents to be submitted by the bidders for civil works, be discussed by Engineer Allen P. Malikay. And for documents to be submitted by the bidders for goods, to be discussed by Engineer Angelo B. Dolera and Engineer Jeff M. Duhay-Lungsod. Agenda number 2, criteria and procedures for civil works. A. Eligibility check, to be discussed by Maria Estrella Gracia M. Remolio. For preliminary examination of bids, Engineer Dennis A. Tumala. For detailed evaluation of bids by J. Vincent C. Paling. And for post-qualification of lowest calculated bids and award to be discussed by Engineer Bernard Z. Duran and Engineer Gemma M. Calibo. And for goods and services, like bid evaluation of all bidders to be discussed by Mr. G.C. James M. Ibincan, and for post-qualification and evaluation of lowest calculated bids to be discussed by Engineer Christian George B. Paling. Agenda number 3, reminders on the warranty requirements of the project for goods to be discussed by Engineer Donna May Duran. And number 4, agenda is summary of proceedings, including supplemental bid bulletins to be issued for civil works to be discussed by Maria Eva Queen Q. Bation. And agenda 4 is question comments from the bidders and replies of the bank and other representative of the procuring entity to be discussed by me. And number 6 agenda, other matters. So to start with, let's call on Engineer Francis G. Licuto.
Good morning, everyone. So the first project for the 9th batch of the FY 2024 regular infrastructure projects to be bid is 24 HM 003. Convergence and Special Support Program, construction improvement of access road leading to declared tourism destination, tourism road infrastructure program 3. Gabayan-Talayong-Lower Cabangcalan-Campalanas road leading to marine protective areas, diving site and beach resorts. Barangay Gabayan, Lazi, Siquijor. PBC is 4,100,000 and the duration is 56 communities. Its major category is RCP roads construction, PCCP, and the physical target is 0.2 kilometer. Next is 24 HM 0011. Convergence and Special Support Program, construction and improvement of access road leading to trades, industries, and economic zones. Roads, leveraging linkages for industry and trade infrastructure program, Roll 8. Lambojon road connecting to manufacturing site and secure Provincial road in support of furniture industries and goals for secure. EDC is 57,900,000 and the duration is 243 calendar days. Major category RCP roads construction, PCCP. Physical target is 1.847 kilometers. Third is 24 HM 0066. Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP. Flood mitigation structures protecting major and strategic public buildings and facilities. Construction of shoreline protection structure, Tulapos Fish Sanctuary Marine Protective Area, Barangay Tulapos, Enrique, Villanueva, Siquijor. EPC is 4,950,000. Duration is 54 calendar days. Major category is flood control construction, slope protection using structural emissions, revetment retaining walls, widening. Physical target is 50 linear meters. And the fourth is 24 HM 0073. Ensure safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation program, bridge program, retrofitting and strengthening of permanent bridges. Cantarot Bridge along Siquijor's Provincial Road. ABC is 5,880,000. Duration is 82 calendar days. major category bridges, retrofitting concrete superstructure without pipes. Physical target is 8 meters. So the scheduled dropping and opening of bids of these projects is on December 19, 2023 at 10 a.m. That's all for infrastructure.
Sa 4 of June, basic contract data for goods and services.
Good morning once again. For this pre-bid conference this morning, we have 4 goods to be bid on December 20. First online is 24 GSM 001, procurement of construction materials and supplies for use in the maintenance of national roads and bridges with an ABC of 4,500,000 to be delivered within 60 calendar days. And for the procurement activity schedule, the deadline of submission, opening of bids, and preliminary evaluation of bids is on December 20, 2023 at 10 a.m. Bid evaluation is on December 21, 2023. Post qualification is on December 22 to 25, 2023. And we will come to the details. These are construction materials and supplies, rubberized, reflectorized traffic paint, 16 liters per gallon, color is white. We also have rubberized, reflectorized traffic paint, 16 liters per gallon, color yellow. Lacquer thinner, asphalt sealant, hot asphalt, emulsified asphalt, Portland cement, black sand and black gravel, 3/4 inches size. We also have cover aggregates 3/8 inches, nylon monofilament number 260, and paintbrush number 4 and number 3. So, on the second in line is 24 GHM 002, procurement of vehicle parts and accessories for use in the DPWH service vehicles. EBC is 1,341,650 pesos and 16 centavos to be delivered within 30 calendar days. The schedule for the activity of is on deadline of submission and opening of bids and preliminary evaluation of bids is also on December 20, 2023 at 10 a.m. Bid evaluation is on December 21, 2023. Post qualification is December 22 to 25, 2023. We will come to the details. We would like to reiterate that for the winning bidder, you will have to deliver all tubeless tire with a date of manufacture for 2023 manufacturing date. We will not receive manufactured tubeless tire beyond before 2023. Okay. Non-expiration ang ligid. So, madili ni siya ka-deliver niya. Manufacture ni siya 2022 na dahil mga almost 3 years. And we will consider also that it is designed on tropical countries. Okay. Philippines is init ba itong humidity o dawat ang kanang design na sa snow. Dali ra ni siya madaot diri kay tropical country na init kayo itong buwan. So, marito sa vehicle parts. So, we will move on to number 3, 24 GHM 003, procurement of fuel additives and lubricants, and anti-corrosive for use in the DPWH service vehicles. EBC is 2,215,982 pesos. It's been delivered within 45 calendar days. We have the same deadline of submission and opening of bids and preliminary evaluation of bids on December 20, 2023 at 10 a.m. Bid evaluation December 21, 2023 and post-qualification December 22 to 25, 2023. The last is 24 DHM 004, procurement of office supplies for use in the DPWH office with an EBC of 4,200,000 pesos only, to be delivered within 60 calendar days with the same schedule of submission of bids and preliminary evaluation of bids on December 20, 2023 at 10 a.m. Bid evaluation December 21, 2023 and post-qualification December 22 to 25, 2023. Maybe that's all for today.
Good morning. For requirements of bidding documents for civil works, the bidder shall submit one original and 2 copies of the first technical and second financial components of its bid. Complete of bidding documents. The set of bidding documents with a specific contract at hand consists of the document listed below and bulletins issued in accordance with ITB Clause 11. Number 1, invitation to bid. Number 2, instructions to bidders. Number 3, bid data sheet. Number 4, general conditions of contract. Number 5, special condition of contract. Number 6, specifications and drawings. 7, bill of quantities. 8, checklist of technical and financial documents. And 9, bidding forms. The DPWH shall post the complete set of bidding documents at its website www.dpwh.gov.ph and at Villanueva www.villanueva.gov.ph for the general reference of the public for every contract to be procured starting on the first day of advertisement of the invitation to bid. Any prospective bidder or other interested party may thus view or download the bidding documents from the aforementioned website. The bidders should note that the procuring entity shall only accept bids from the bidders that have purchased the bidding documents from the office indicated in the invitation to bid, or have downloaded the bidding documents from the website of the DPWH and field jobs, subject to payment of the fee for the bidding documents upon submission of their bids. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically or online. However, bidders shall only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. Similar to manual submission, the guidelines for the preparation and submission of an electronic bid are contained in the bidding documents. The DPWH procuring entity shall also make hard copies of the contract-specific invitation to bid available to prospective bidders upon payment of a bidding document fee in accordance to Appendix 8 of 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184. Yes, sir.
Good morning once again. For the requirements of bids, including instruction to bidders and specification and other conditions for the goods and services. The procuring entity, DPWH, Siquijor District Engineering Office, Siquijor, wishes to receive bids for the contracts, goods, and services number 1, 24 GHM 0001, 2, 24 GHM 0002, 3, 24 GHM 0003, and 4, 24 GHM 0004. The bidder, by the act of submitting its bids, shall be deemed to have verified and accepted the general requirements of this project, including other factors that may affect the cost, duration, and execution or implementation of the contract, project, or work, and examine all instructions, forms, terms, and project requirements in the bidding documents. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders from November 29, 2023 to December 20, 2023 from the DPWH Siquijor District Engineering Office, Lorena Siquijor, Back Conference Room, Lorena Siquijor, and downloadable in the website www.fieldjobs.gov.ph and www.dpwh.gov.ph upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount of 5,000 pesos each. The procuring entity shall allow the bidder to present its proof of payment for the fees in person. Specifications and other conditions of the project. Bidders are required as part of the technical specification to complete their statement of compliance demonstrating how the items comply with the specification. Indicate the brand name for each item being offered. The procuring entity or its representative shall have the right to inspect and or to test the goods to confirm their conformity to the project specifications at no extra cost to the procuring entity in accordance with the generic procurement manual. In addition to test in the SEC, Section 7 technical specification shall specify what inspections and or tests the procuring entity requires and where they are to be conducted. The procuring entity shall notify the supplier in writing in a timely manner of the identity of any representatives retained for these purposes. All reasonable facilities and assistance for the inspection and testing of goods, including access to drawings and production data, shall be provided by the supplier to the authorized inspectors at no charge to the procuring entity. That's all.
Now let's go to the checklist for technical documents. The first part is the technical component envelope. Now for Class A documents under this component, first we have the list of legal documents. A, valid field JEPS registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages. Or B, registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC, Department of Trade and Industry or DTI, for sole proprietorship, or Cooperative Development Authority or CDA for cooperatives or its equivalent document. And C, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. And D, tax clearance per Executive Order number 398 series of 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue or BIR. Now for technical documents, E, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. And F, statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules. And G, Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board license or pickup license, or special pickup license in case of joint ventures, and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. And H, original copy of bid security, if in the form of a surety bond submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. And I, project requirements, which shall include the following. A, organizational chart for the contract to be bid. B, list of contractors, key personnel. To mention the project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data. And C, list of contractors' major equipment units, which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project, as the case may be. And J, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement or OSS, and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder.
Good morning. We will continue with the checklist of financial documents. To financial documents. Turkey, the prospective bidders audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidders' total and current assets and liabilities, stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institution for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. And letter L, the prospective bidders' computation of net financial contracting capacity or the NFCC. For the last three documents, letter M, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statement from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provision of the joint venture agreement in the instant that the bid is successful. 3. For financial component envelope, letter N, original duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, and other documentary requirements under RA number 9184, letter O, original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities, and letter E, duly accomplished detailed estimates form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with a bid. And last, letter Q is cash flow by quarter.
For documents to be submitted by the bidders for goods and services, checklist of technical and financial documents, technical component envelope, Class A documents. For legal documents, A, valid field trips registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages, or registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC, Department of Trade and Industry, DTI for sole proprietorship, or Cooperative Development Authority for cooperatives or its equivalent document. And C, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. And D, tax clearance per Executive Order number 398, Series 2005, as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. For technical documents, E, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. And F, statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided for in sections 23.4.1.3 and 23.4.2.4 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184 within the relevant period as provided in the bidding documents, and G, original copy of bid security, if in the form of a surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission, or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration, and H, conformity with the technical specification, which may include production or delivery schedule, manpower requirements, and or after sales or parts, if applicable, and I, original duly signed omnibus board statement, and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder.
Once again, good morning, Madam Chair. Documents to be submitted by the vendors for goods for financial documents. The supplier's audited financial statement showing, among others, the supplier's total and current assets and liabilities, stamp received by the bearer or its duly accredited and authorized institution for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. And for letter D, the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity, the NFCC, or a commercial line of credit form from Universal or commercial bank in lieu of its NFCC computation. Class B documents, if applicable, a duly signed joint venture agreement in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statement from all the potential joint ventures partners stating that they will enter into an abide with the provision of the GBE in the instance the bid is successful. Then second, the financial component envelope, or letter M, original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, and letter N, original of duly signed and accomplished price schedules. The next is other documentary requirements under Public Act number 9184 as applicable. For foreign bidders claiming the reason of their country's extensions of reciprocal rights to Filipinos, certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in government procurement activities for the same item or product. Then last, certification from the DTI if the bidder claims preference as a domestic bidder or domestic entity. That's all, Madam Chair.
For the criteria and procedure of eligibility check for civil works. As per section 30.1 of the revised IRR of RA 9184, states that the bank shall open the first envelopes, which is the technical envelopes in public, to determine each bidder's compliance with the documents required to be submitted for eligibility and for the technical requirements as prescribed in the said IRR. After opening the first envelope, the bank shall simultaneously conduct the electronic eligibility check and preliminary examination of the technical components of the bids. Electronic eligibility check shall be done by using the data and program in the DPWH Civil Works Application, or CWA. Only the participating contractor who submits the original receipt for the payment of the bidding documents for the contract contract issued by any DPWH field office will be considered by the procuring entity to be undertaken with the electronic eligibility evaluation, clause number 26.1 of the instruction to bidders.
The criteria and procedure for preliminary examination of bids. Section 30 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184 states that prior to bid evaluation, the BAC shall examine first the technical component of the bids using pass or fail criteria to determine whether all required documents are present. Bids that fail to include any requirements or are incomplete or patently insufficient shall be considered as failed. Reading out and recording the following per clause number 27.6 of the instruction to bidders. Letter A, name of the bidder. Letter B, whether there is a technical modification or submission. Letter C, presence, amount, and validity of the bid security. Letter D, presence or absence of each document comprising the technical proposal as per checklist of the required documents. Only the bids that are determined to contain all the bid requirements of the technical component shall be considered for opening and evaluation of their financial component.
For detailed evaluation and comparison of bids. For Section 31 of the instruction to bidders, A, the procuring entity shall evaluate and compare in detail only the bids that are rated as complying or pass for both technical and financial proposals pursuant to ITB Clause 26. The bid with the lowest price in the ranking shall be identified as the lowest calculated bid. To determine the lowest calculated bid, the BAC shall use non-discretionary pass-fail criteria as stated in the IB, which shall include a consideration of the following: completeness of the bid, arithmetical corrections, evaluation or equal footing to ensure fair and competitive bid comparison. Rule on discretionaries and discrepancies per section 32.2.3 of the revised IRR of RA 9184. In case of discrepancies between bid price in figures and in words, the latter shall prevail. Total price per item and unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item, the latter shall prevail. Stated total price and the actual sum of prices of component items, the latter shall prevail. Unit cost of the detailed estimate and unit cost in the BOQ, the latter shall prevail. The corrected per item cost for all items shall be the basis for the corrected grand total cost. The total calculated bid prices are obtained after making the detailed evaluation and corrections according to the above mentioned criteria.
For the post-qualification of the lowest calculated bid for civil works, Section 33 D of the instruction to bidders, if the BAC determines that the bidder with the LCB passes all the criteria for post-qualification, it shall declare the said bid as the lowest calculated responsive bid, or LCRB, and recommend to the whole the award of contract to the said bidder and its submitted price or its calculated bid price, whichever is lower. Per DO 127 series 2018, dated August 16, 2018, pursuant to item 34.3 B2 of the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulations of Republic Act number 9184, and to ensure that all DPWH projects are completed without delay, all bids and awards committees, central, regional, district are hereby directed to strictly apply, among others, during the conduct of post-qualification award of contract, the following guidelines. During post-qualification, the BAC shall determine bidders' compliance through A. Verification and validation of the bidders' stated competence and experience. B. Verification of competence and experience of the bidders' key personnel to be assigned to the contract as against the minimum requirements under the bid data sheet. C. Verification of availability and commitment and or inspection and testing for further capacities and operating conditions of major equipment units. D. Checking the performance of the bidder in its ongoing government and private contracts. The BAC verifies any of these deficiencies to be due to the contractor's fault or negligence. The agency shall disqualify the contractor from the award for the procurement of infrastructure projects. The results of the contractor's performance evaluation system, or CPES, should also be considered by the concerned BAC in determining the responsiveness of the contractor's bid before any award of contract.
Good morning once again. For the award to the bidder with lowest calculated responsive bid, per Section 37 of the revised IRR of RA 9184, the BAC shall recommend the award of contract to the bidder with LCRB, HRRB, or ECRB after the completion of post-qualification process within the period not exceeding 15 calendar days from the recommendation to award the contract. The host shall approve or disapprove the said recommendation. Prior to issuance of notice of award to the contractor, the BAC shall check whether the contract is still within the bid validity period and all the legal, technical, and financial requirements shall still be valid. Within 10 days from the receipt of by the winning bidder of the notice of award, the documentary requirements should be complied before the contract may be awarded. In the event of disapproval, which shall be based only on valid, reasonable, and justifiable grounds as provided for under Section 41 of this IRR, the host shall notify the BAC and the bidder in writing of such decision and the grounds for it. When applicable, the BAC shall conduct a post-qualification of the bidder with the next lowest calculated bid or highest rated bid as provided in Section 34.6 of this IRR. That's all, Madam.
Criteria and procedure for goods and services. A bid evaluation of all bidders. The procuring entity BAC shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids rated pass using non-discretionary pass-fail criteria. The BAC shall consider the conditions in the evaluation of the bids under Section 32.2 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184. Considering the following: A. Completeness of the bid, unless the instructions to bidders specifically allow partial bids, bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including where applicable bill of quantities shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. In this regard, where a required item is provided but no price is indicated, the same shall be considered as a non-responsive. But specifying a zero or a dash for the said item would mean that it is being offered for free to the government, except those required by law or regulations to be provided for. And B, arithmetical corrections, consider computational errors and omissions to enable proper comparison of all eligible bids. It may also consider bid modifications if expressly allowed in the bidding documents. Any adjustment shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated prices. That's it.
Criteria and procedure for the post-qualification evaluation of lowest calculated bid for goods and services. The entire evaluation process for the procurement of goods shall be completed within 7 calendar days from the deadline for receipt of proposals. The lowest calculated bid or highest rated bid shall undergo post-qualification in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents. 34.2 within 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the documents. Within 5 calendar days from the receipt of the bidder by the notice from the bank that the bidder has the lowest calculated bid or highest rated bid, the bidder shall submit to the bank its latest income and business tax returns and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the bidding documents. Failure to submit any of these post-qualification requirements on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that a finding against the veracity of any documents submitted is made, it shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security in accordance with Section 69 of this IRR A 34.3. The post-qualifications shall verify, validate, and ascertain the veracity, authenticity, and validity of all the Class A eligibility documents supporting the field trips, certificate of registration and membership in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of this IRR, and all other statements made and documents submitted by the bidder with the lowest calculated bid or highest rated bid using non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents and as stipulated in the Section 34.3 of the updated 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184.
Good morning once again. For reminders on the warranty requirement of the project for goods. In order to assure that the manufacturing defects shall be corrected by the supplier, a warranty shall be required from the supplier as provided under Section 62.1 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184, which stipulated as follows. For the procurement of goods, in order to assure that the manufacturing defects shall be corrected by the supplier, a warranty security shall be required from the contract awardee for a minimum period of 3 months in the case of expendable supplies, or a minimum period of 1 year in the case of non-expendable supplies, after acceptance by the procuring entity of the delivered supplies. The obligation for the warranty shall be covered by either retention money in an amount equivalent to at least 1% but not to exceed 5% of promised payment, or a special bank guarantee equivalent to at least 1%, but not to exceed 5% of the total contract price. The said amounts shall only be released after the lapse of the warranty period, or in the case of expendable supplies, after consumption thereof, provided, however, that the supplies delivered are free from patent and latent defects and all the conditions imposed under the contract have been fully met. The procuring entity shall promptly notify the supplier in writing of any claims arising under this warranty. Upon receipt of such notice, the supplier shall repair or replace the defective goods or parts thereof without cost to the procuring entity pursuant to the generic procurement manual.
Good morning. The next agenda for this pre-bid conference is the summary of proceedings, including clarification or amendment of bidding documents through bid bulletins. This is under instruction to bidders, clause 11. The entire procurement process shall be in accordance with the updated 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184 and its implementing rules and regulations. The procurement schedule will be followed unless amendment will be issued. Bidders may request clarifications or an interpretation of any part of the bidding documents. Such a request must be in writing and submitted to the procuring entity at the address indicated in the bidding documents at least 10 calendar days before the deadline set for the submission and receipt of bids. The back of the procuring entity shall respond to the said request by issuing a bid bulletin. The back upon its initiative may also issue supplemental or bid bulletins to amend or clarify any provision of the bidding documents not later than 7 calendar days before the deadline for the receipt of bids. Any supplemental or bid bulletin issued by the Bids and Awards Committee or BAC shall be posted in the websites of the DPWH and the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System or PhilJobs. It shall be the responsibility of all the bidders who secured the bidding documents to inquire and secure supplemental or bid bulletins that may be issued by the BAC. However, bidders who have submitted bids before the issuance of the supplemental or bid bulletin must be informed and allowed to modify or withdraw their bids in accordance with the instruction to bidders, clause 24. That's all.
Is there any question, comments from the online? Wala. So reminders lang to all the bidders or suppliers for goods. All materials to be delivered must have mail certificate and test results, and of course of good quality in accordance with the DPWH standards. And reminders also to all the participating bidders, quality of works and quality of materials is a must and in accordance with the DPWH standards. So I think all the requirements, criteria, procedures are discussed clearly to you. So our pre-bid conference for today is adjourned.